Video is rolling. So, you're looking sharp. Thanks for letting me take your picture.
You're
And
welcome.
it's been a pleasure. So, how, or give me your full name first.
Alvin Charles Lopez,
And what's your date of birth?
9/21/21.
So,
I was born in Auburn, New York.
where?
Oh, Noah's Ark. I was born in Auburn, on that one.
Okay. It took me a while to get that. um, where were you born, actually?
And where was I born?
Yeah.
In New Orleans, up
Oh.
in Carrollton, the Carrollton section of New Orleans, on
Okay.
Apple Street, between Burdett and Camberone.
Did you live there all the way up and through high school?
Quite a few years, yeah. I went to all the schools. I went to a lot of Catholic schools. I don't know if it did any good or not, but I went there. Because when I went to school, went to Catholic school, I was in a suit of clothes. I got pictures of those.
Were you a good student?
Well, I don't know. I wasn't good. I would have run out. They couldn't show me to do. I was going. Well, I can still hear my dad say, "Lou, take that boy back to school tomorrow." I get to do it. I hated school, man. I hated sitting still. I always wanted to move. I guess I figured I didn't know I was going to work the rest of my damn life. So, but I never did care for school.
And you're still like that. You don't like to sit still, do you?
No, you know, I work. All I know is work. I went to work very early. I had no problem with that. I had a cousin that was a paint contractor, and I was a painter then.
So tell me about when you did you enlist or were you drafted?
No, unless the Navy didn't draft anybody. I went to the Navy because I didn't want to be drafted in the Army.
Okay.
I worked with fellows from World War I. They're all busted up, and I didn't want to see that life. So
I don't blame you.
at least when I had the ship I was on there, I had food all the time. These guys in the Army, they had nothing but shells to keep them warm. So, but no. I thought about Andy Garcia. He just would fall down and collapse and cough from being gassed in World War I, see.
Mm.
So that wasn't very good memory, so I went to the Navy.
And you, so you enlisted, and where did you go first when you, like right after for training?
I went from San Diego to Frisco, then from board to Portland. I had to leave to come home and upset my mother. And then I went on a Portland.
And do you remember how long you were in San Diego and Portland?
Well, you had 6 weeks of training. I had that from San Diego. And then I went to Frisco. That's when you got signed to the ship. And I went from there to Pearl Harbor. That's where I picked up the Portland from Pearl Harbor. When I got to Pearl Harbor, it was still early in the water when I got there.
What was the date then? Or what year?
I was 42.
Okay.
42.
What were you trained in mostly, or your role on the ship?
Well, you go aboard the ship like then you're assigned to certain detail. I was in the 3rd Division in deckhands. I was up topside. See, I was in the middle of the ship, but I was anything with the cooking area. But I was on a deckhand. See? That shows on your picture. You showed the deckhand, but white is the deckhand, and then red is the fire department. See, so
Okay.
that's the difference. Then when you get a rating, you get a hash mark on stuff on your arm, but I didn't have that. So.
What was your actual rank?
Seaman first class.
Okay, that's what I thought. Throughout, was it the same throughout your service?
Oh yeah, I went in, came out, Seaman first class.
Okay.
No, you take tests, and all of it, they have to send the papers into Washington before you get your rates. But I took tests for boats and mate, took tests for
Yeah.
machinist, a machinist, or to operate the guns, you see, and that was it. But I
Okay.
didn't get anything from that. Went in there as a, apprentice, when I took seaman first, I was high as a god. But I served with some good fellows, very nice men. But I saw a lot of water.
Yeah.
We came from the Bering Sea, just cleaned on out to over the equator, then went to, I was 72 days in Sydney, Australia. See? Those people are nice there. We couldn't do anything wrong. See? It was nice. I saw a lot of water. Like I said, I don't go to water. Skips don't do anything for me. I don't care for too much water. And when you get water that's above the ship you're on, you don't like that too much.
No.
See, like they you have to run to one side of the ship, the other, so the water wouldn't wash you off. So you come across the ship.
Really?
The Bering Sea is rough, and it's really rough.
Yeah.
You fall in that water, they didn't get you quick enough. It was too late. It freezes, ice. And you had all these big boots on and stuff. You had to way up there. Just like an anchor, they fill it with water and bring it right to the bottom.
Mm.
So you held on anytime you went outside. You'd hold on to something to make sure. It was so long. I was young. I made 20 and 20, and I come out. I made 21, and I think I'll see 22. I think that would come up. But I saw a lot of action. Well, we would do a shell and run. See, the Japs had hurt our fleet pretty good when it was down there. We didn't have many ships that was operating up there. Now, Portland, the reason it wasn't damaged because it wasn't in Pearl Harbor when it got hit. It came in later, and that's how I picked up the Portland.
I see. Can you describe one of, a typical shelling mission, or what do you call it?
Well, you see, when I was out there, I was a 5-inch battery, second loader. In case the guy got killed, you take his place. I was a second loader on a 20 millimeter, and on a 40 millimeter, I was a second loader on that. I never did want the first loader. That's the guy they're gonna pick off. So you could take chance you make the second loader. So we had one gun right on top of our turret, but a lot of the guns that you had to move around because.
Yeah.
Other than that, I was below deck. You see, you load the big shells for the big guns. You see, but you always had more than one position. If somebody got hurt, you go up there and take that spot. But I was fortunate. I stayed down. I went firstly aboard, on a powder room. But the east of powder, they said he moved me up to above it, to shell deck. All that's below water line. That's where I was at, running the hoist when. They got hit. I was on this side, we put me on that side. So. But one more petition, there wouldn't have been, it would have went right down. So. But it was the captain had keep turning. They didn't want the torpedo sword coming because it was sank to destroy it through it. But it was shooting from midship. It would have broke the ship in half. So it hit the back of the ship. So back there we lost 15 and 2 fellas up front. 17 men we lost at that job. So. 15 back way out like that, no heads on them. No.
17.
I couldn't pet a dog when I come back here.
On one of those missions, you would be, like the ship wouldn't go by itself, right? Or would it?
No, you see, I wore earphones a lot, take orders. There was a few sitting on sights, sitting on the guns. In other words, they called down for headquarters what we would do with the sights, the fuse and all that. And that's what I wore earphones on. I'd sit with the guns like that. On one ship, I had my legs down in the hole. That's where the sights were. The other one was on the side of the gun, a 5-inch battery. When we got a new gun, they changed the position around. But you always had more than one position in case somebody was hurt. You had to be replaced.
Yeah.
What he was asking you today is when y'all were shelling, he was asking you to describe one of those shelling missions. When you shelled that too in Kiska.
Oh yeah, you would shoot in there. Yeah, when we hit that to Anchiska, there was only, we thought there were we was told there was Japs on it, there was only one, Russian on it, was on that to Anchiska we shelled it. We poured out some shells, I'll tell you that. And cheer or laugh. And we hit a ship that's 400 or 500 men of it go, and you bust out laughing. I mean, you're really on the sick mode, I'll tell you. But you're glad it wasn't you.
Yeah, yeah.
No, we had them that fired us, and they fired one in front of it, then we fired one over it. The next one they fired back, we shot them straight ahead, that was it. I was standing up forward because it was the forward guns doing it. I was in the 3rd Division on the end of the ship, see, where they got hit at. So we had no position, it was blown out, so we only could go in a circle, see.
Mm-hmm.
Everything was blown out of proportion.
How long would you shell these certain islands or positions you were?
When we got hit,
No, when the ship would be shelling an island.
we would
How
would
long?
shell other islands that trying to kill off Japs, and then we also would shell destroyers. And we had a battle wagon was looking for us when we were hurt. It was crippled, so we had to go aboard on the island on Guadalcanal and get the greens to cover our superstructure, so the Japs flag wouldn't be up, the searchlight wouldn't pick us up.
Oh,
So until we could signal in and got into headquarters, their planes got that crippled battle wagon out of there before they located us. But when you go on the shore, then you got these headhunters out there with the bones through their nose, and they don't move. The only thing moves on them is their eyes, and all you got is a damn old pocket knife that, that's all you had. But you had a Marine with a rifle and using you as a bait to draw the Japs out. So. Oh,
Yeah.
yeah.
Use you as bait?
Really nice, oh yeah. Let you go ahead. All you have is a pocket knife. They shot many Japs out the trees up there.
Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah, Japs are tied in the trees. They just hang down like grapes when you shoot them. So.
Wow.
They had us covered pretty good down there.
So the first time you left on your ship from Pearl Harbor, where did you go? Do you remember?
When we left Pearl Harbor,
Yeah.
we went. We left the first time. That was out to Chesterfield. That's where we went. North. Then we went south.
Oh.
So we went up there. That's where we found out. We thought we was misled with up there. So we just all we did was pour a lot of shells in it. Then you go off and take on supplies. We took some food supplies at sea at night.
Okay.
But you went on the other side of the equator to get the shells, because you had the 8-inch shells are big. It takes, like a horse, you put them in, it takes 2 men to carry them. So they load the ship for us and go back out. You had armor piercing, and you had with explosives, someone would just pass a cigarette paper, it would blow up. That's how sensitive they were.
Wow. No smoking on deck, huh?
Oh,
Not much.
no, smoking lights out, no smoke. You'd be surprised how far you could see a cigarette.
Mm-hmm.
I'd open seat like that, cigarette show up. I don't know. Well, I didn't smoke then. You didn't have time to smoke. People was busy. So.
Yeah.
But I've seen. I went from one end of the Pacific to the other. The whole thing. So my daughter says, "I'm going on a cruise." And I said, "Well, I'm glad you enjoy it. I have no desire to go on a boat." But I wept. I kept busy. I never was a person just to sit around and read. I kept busy. I did an awful lot of scraping and painting in this ship like that. Crawled it down the bilges to get the paint out, because a lot of our ships, when they hit, they catch on fire. And the paint, they'd paint with a lot of times with swabs, just tight spots, so you had a lot of paint. You would take the runways right there, but you dig them out, the paint be that thick down there.
Wow.
With swabs. In a hurry. And you see, when I went in the Navy, the fleet was white, so we turned it, had it painted gray at sea. So we hanging on the side with a paintbrush painting there, and they got up there for the rifle and make sure the fish don't grab your feet down in the water. So. But it made you feel pretty good. It aged you up pretty good. You want to see that fin going through the water when you're down there. So. But you had to do it because the white was too easy to hit. The Japs picked it up right away. So well, that's we had the white fleet.
So the whole ship was white?
Oh yeah.
And
Then we painted it gray. We painted it gray. And see, I would paint it something. I had a boat to make that. One of the strongest fellows I saw. I always worked. So he'd say, AC, don't pull a rope. I'll pull you. Pull them up overhand or over here. Cause I never sat still. I mean, I felt time passed better than if I was had my mind painting or scraping paints. But you had some of these fellas, maybe would hide so it wouldn't work. But they drag so like that. I work with a lot of guys look at the window. I never look at the window. I'd work. So, the time got into the construction, they said we beat Allenstein. They couldn't. I kept busy. But I never was a sitter. I sit more now. But it's
you don't have to sit still. Don't worry.
well, I go up right now. But this cancer deal on the head, you see, I can't get the sun. So my oldest daughter, she's never changed, man. The same thing. You gotta keep out the sun, you know. I was looking like a sergeant in the army. See. But she comes by. I happen to be outside. She comes out because I got a dirty look, man. So if I'm sitting on the front step, but she means well. I take it. I know what they mean well, you know.
Yeah. Do you remember any particular stops that you made that you haven't mentioned already, as when you're out on a mission or a patrol? Certain islands, like I think you mentioned Guadalcanal.
Well, Guadalcanal was a big naval battle. It was one of the largest naval battles down there. See, but see, I went on a lot of islands down there. You know, you could I lose track of the name of them, but some of our officers had served on it, and those people came and they come over do a ceremony dance aboard ship for us. And guys climbed that rope like a squirrel. I'll tell you, yeah, and men just run through the rope. And the women come do their dance, their hula hula dance. And the men sit back there with them knives about that long. So that you just sit there, that's all you're supposed to do. That was very pleasant. Certain areas was nice, and, you know, until you got a call to go on such patrols. But we did we were shell from one into the other. The Portland was a raid, I said. We just raid and run, hit and run, hit and run. Put a lot of shells out.
Was that usually at night? Was it usually at night or sometimes during the day?
It didn't make any difference. All depends where the disturbance was that they wanted to do something about it.
Okay.
But the Guadalcanal was dark when we fired it. There was all balls of fire down there, big shell. So when I came on top side, you laid down flat, you try to get behind something protection because there's shrapnel all over the place. And shrapnel coming there is red hot when it's coming down. So.
Yeah.
Always, the fella never complained. All the guys would go, move, move, when you're walking on them, you know, different protection. So.
Wow.
But we have buried some at sea, and that's sad to put a guy in canvas and throw him over the side and do that. So. But some we buried on the Guadalcanal. Ones that were broken up pretty bad, I had to bury them. There were no heads and all that, put them in Guadalcanal. But the other ones that big wounds, we just wrap them in the canvas, sew them up, and throw them aside with weight by the feet. So.
Guys that you
we
knew?
got caulks in the water for a while, and the water get in the canvas and go down. So.
These are guys that you knew?
Oh yeah, so it worked. Some guys you buried that you ate breakfast with that morning. So.
Yeah. How large a crew was on your cruiser? How large, what number of crew members?
Portland, my division alone, we had over about 40 men in the 3rd Division, so I guess the whole ship was over 1,000 men on that ship, see? Yeah.
Okay.
See, that's not counting them down in the machine rooms that keep it, the operating rooms, see, that's just.
Oh yeah, you said it was like a sister ship to the Indianapolis?
Yeah.
And I know it had about 1,200.
Oh, well, that's what it is.
Okay.
That's it. And, like I said, Only one we had that we stayed around, we was patrol with the San Francisco, it got hit and left us out there, so we only could go in circles. They headed back to the coast, to Frisco, deserted us, man, we were mad as hell.
Hmm.
Saving the battle and they left us out there cripples. So they had to tow us into Sydney, Australia.
Is this after you were
Oh, yeah.
hit right there? That was
Well, some of those boys in the after steer, we didn't find them until we got to Sydney, Australia. There was no more meat on it. It was fish ate them off the bone, just a bit bone.
Hmm.
You had to stand and watch the hole to make sure the water wouldn't come in there, 'cause one more partition there, but it wasn't going down. So you had to watch that back there, back. And you'd be standing, a lot of times you would stand right where these guys were at, and you didn't notice that the men were locked in the after steering porches, and you were standing there just making sure too much water wasn't coming in that hole. See, when you're young, you're stupid, you know. You just didn't care. I was 20 years old. You didn't fear anything, you didn't think you were gonna die. Until the ship got hit, they said, well, I'll make 21, I'm gonna make 22, so. But you don't think about things like that. But I was older than a lot of us fellas. A lot of guys in their teens, some of those kids.
Mhm.
But it's a part of when your life that you relive, and I don't watch the movies and stuff. I've been there. I don't have to watch that. Because I close my eyes and still see the water coming in from the door where we didn't have down tight. But I was below deck, below water line when we got it, the shell deck. So.
Yeah. What exactly happened? It was a Japanese submarine torpedo,
No,
right?
it's a destroyer.
Oh.
The 1,000-pound fish he put in the captain kept turning the ship, because it hit midship, it would have broke it in half.
Yeah.
So it took it to the least amount of men we had hit at it, so it took 17, but it'd been more than that midship, you see.
Yeah.
So, 'cause they lost only 2 midship from stuff that was, the propeller was blown off, it went to land on those 2 Marines, but no back for us, right? And you see, you got volunteers, you, and you go clean it up. And I never fooled people. I never went to a cemetery. No, I went to a cemetery. I never went to funerals or anything. But and here you are picking up hair and stuff like that. It kind of gets to you a little bit.
I understand. So after the torpedo hit, and obviously you're trying to save the ship, trying to save other men, and you were towed by a ship.
Some tugs, so the $1 million tug that they were bragging about, that's the one that towed us to Sydney, Australia. We had to wait for the $1 million tug that towed us out. And see, they brought us into one place, one little niche there, and we had to bring them with the line. We had to get in the water, but I got bumped with one fish, and then going in, and I got bumped on the other side. First thing you're looking for blood, you know what kind of fish hit you, because fish circle idle.
Mm.
And they was always told to get up on something, you go to the island, but you couldn't get up something, you bring a rope there to put around a tree to suck the ship in the holes.
Mm.
Well, like I said right now, you don't forget, it slips back to your
Yeah.
mind, but
How long did it take for the tugs to reach you?
well, at the time, it seemed like a nightmare. I think they'd ever get, because you're sitting dead in the water, you
Yeah.
only could go in circles like that. And what made us mad, that the San Francisco was sailing, but it didn't try to help us, it left us out there and couldn't move. So. And we was actually deserted. So. Oh no. But that's when the tug came. That was a ride there, though. It was a storm, and by the time we got to Sydney, went through a storm.
Oh.
Oh, yeah. You just had to stay up there with an axe in your hand to cut the line in case somebody would come in and attack with Japs. And through the storm, you pass out. You get so tired of standing still, you slide down into the thing like wake up a soaking wet. But you couldn't leave your post, you see. So. No, you did a lot of things you normally wouldn't do. You had to do it. So.
You had to.
And the hardest thing of the world was to gather up people that you had breakfast and stuff with them, gather up their pots and put tags down. That stuff wasn't easy. So.
How long did it take to get to Sydney?
It seemed like a lifetime, but I guess it didn't. I don't know. you know, they were so busy trying to keep the ship from sinking, you keep watching that hole, and
You lose track of time.
you know, but, no. But, we enjoyed the people in this city, Australia, couldn't have been any nicer to us, so.
How long were you there?
72 days. Thought I was gonna live there for a while. So people were very present.
Oh,
But,
good.
the men didn't like us because they danced with the woman over there. We brought the woman here,
Yeah.
and they wore short. They didn't like us at all. So I couldn't see dancing way over here. That's square dancing. You bring the dance woman, you dance in front of them. You see, they didn't like us for that. But the women we got along fine. But like I said, basically they were nice people. It was hard to get used to their way of eating. They never put the knife down. The knife's in hand the whole meal, you know. It's like a shovel.
Oh, really?
They'll put it down. But basically, you see a lot of people, you never see a lot of things you never see again. Some of them don't want to see again anyhow, so. But it's war. War is bad. And I was, when I wasn't no service, man, I just finished my flight. I was flying a plane. I was getting ready to go into Waco. I never got to the Waco. Say I flew a Porterfield. I used to fly over there where my daughter lives, out there at the Calendar Field. That's where I used to fly a plane over there.
Oh, before the war?
Oh, yeah. That's what I was doing when the war broke out. I fly.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Oh, yeah. The guy, when I went to the Navy, Jack Delawine was the guy that taught us how to fly. He went to Florida, and one student froze it and flew him in the ground. And couldn't break it loose and put it down. But no, I flew for a while. I used to fly around and go landing. But I was supposed to go into the bigger one, the two-wing plane and open cockpit, the Waco.
Yeah.
Never got a chance to do that. So it was nice. I enjoyed it at the time.
Did you fly any time after?
No. When I went in the service, I was the end of the flying. So. No, I couldn't do anything. I had a hurt back. See,
Oh, yeah.
couldn't do anything. I couldn't do my trade when I come back. Couldn't do it.
What were your injuries?
About 3 inches above my tailbone. It threw me back into where I was taking the shells out, but it tore up my clothes. The only thing that saved the skin was the money belt. That I had a money belt on. So
Wow.
it got curves in it. It threw it, hummed me right up my neck. Man, but that thing hit there. You know, it hurt such a noise and water coming in the door, you know. You thought it was it until we touched down the hatch, pulled the light, the arms down, the latch down and stopped the water. We knew it was all right. So we had people below us, we had to get them out of there, out the magazine place. It was a nightmare. It ages you pretty good. So. But other than that, survived. So I went from a lot of hospitals, they kept injection in the back. To give you pain, so to try to stop the pain, they shoot you back with one guy by the name of Tivo, AC, look at this, he had 2 fingers, he squeezed and he said, just water coming out, that's all they're shooting water on us. So we probably Novocaine, but he was yeah, but he had 2 fingers for changing a spare tire. It fell and cut his fingers out.
Wow.
Not in the war. No. But they had some terrible, a lot of Marines, all the mouths, one rifle shot blew the whole mouth out of some of them. Boy, yeah, it's a terrible sight. So I was lucky, I didn't spill any blood. Saying there was a bit of Purple Heart, but I didn't spill heart. I just had muscles and a bone that messed it up back there for a while. So now with this excess weight, it's not helping that area. It hurts more than it should be.
I see.
Plus the age, you know.
Yeah.
But other than that, I can't complain. I do what I want to do. I'm getting ready to wash my house down to paint it and it cools off. I have no problem with that.
You built this house, didn't you?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Built this house, doing the job in the construction job in Bureau. Just to come in the evening, work on this house, and drive in from Bureau to work on this house, the dog. There's no piling. Didn't call for piling in this area here. See? So I built this house. My brother-in-law and I, we come in, we built a house, and we had a neighbor, nosy neighbor. We had to try to lock it up. She'd find a way to get in and see what was going on in the house. So, you know, I built a shell, and I put all the walls in it after. So I built front.
When was that? Do you remember?
Hmm?
What year was that?
Oh, that had to be in 19, I come out of service in 40. About 52, I think. I moved in here 53, so it had to be 52.
Okay.
I've been living here since 53. But the plaster, I had some, I see right, I'll get a lot of shake damage with the trucks. I already got some white coat that fell off in that front bedroom. It's a bathroom now. But I gotta go patch that out now. I got the ladder and drop cloths there, so. But this truck house vibrates this place, and big 18 wheels loaded now. When they put the brakes on it, vibrates the whole neighborhood. Cause you look at, you see cracks, but never had cracks like that before. So. Plus it wasn't that old.
Well, after 50, 60 years,
Oh, yeah.
that's
Long
gonna
time.
happen.
Well, like I said, when we came, it was like a little country town. They didn't have all these big apartments across the street.
Really?
Resident, yeah. See, you don't have any homeowners here, it's all a lot of rentals. A big difference between a rental and an owner, it's a big difference in the world.
Yeah.
See, like right now, that was Kathleen, she was a nurse, her mother stayed there with the 2 children. Now it's a place that this place is nothing but men would work out there. Well, I kept trying to think of the name of it. They do work for the restaurants, you know, that service resident. Well, what's that number on the truck? And something on the truck, NYU, isn't
Industries
it?
or something.
On the truck next door.
Yeah.
Some kind of New York firm. 18-wheeler comes in and unload a lot of stuff. You don't know they're there. I make more noise than they make, but they sit in front and talk, do a lot of talk on telephone, on their little cell phone. You know. But they don't bother anybody. When I cut the grass, I see the windows closing. I know I'm waking them up with the lawnmower. But I can't complain. And see over here, that lady, she died. Her and her husband died. There's just the children over there now. So. But this is all strangers there. But Penny is about the age of Patty. My youngest one, they're the same age, Penny. And she's just like her mother, knows everybody in the neighborhood, what everybody's doing in the neighborhood. So. That's what she told me. That fella moved across the street. One of the saints live across the street, a duplex over there. But he's so tall and skinny, so he must be a lineman or something. He's a saint, but he's not tall and skinny. His wife's tall and skinny. You know, usually if you're looking for a football player, pretty bulky, but he's tall and skinny. He drives that black SUV. But other than that, we can't complain. Like I say, a lot of changes in it since I come here. Because they used to play ball in the street. You can't hardly cross the street now. See? Because it was like a gravel road when first went, like Clearview wasn't over there. That was all gravel roads when we came here. And that's when my dad said, well, I should be a main highway, and they sure is. Because there used to only be a one wooden bridgeway to cross over to the other side when I built out here. But like I said, but that's at the time. Long time goes by.
What kind of jobs did you have when you came back home from the service? Like, did you work?
Well, I'm a woodwire, we call woodwire metal. I put the basic count for the plasters, the plaster on. If it's wire, I put the wire in. If it's rock lath, I put the rock lath. So that's what you got to do. This is my house is it's all metal walls. Those are 2 solid walls right there, all those walls. But that's what I did. Plus, then I did carpenter work. I did building. I went into the building business. Did remodel repair work. See. Well, I was registered with the state with that, so I had all the insurance. When I take a job, I was insured, so people would worry about losing something there, so you had insurance on the job.
Mm-hmm.
So my brother, he was a notary, he got it all set up for me, so I wouldn't have any problems with this thing. But I did remodel repair for years. That's what I was doing when I retired.
Okay.
No, I did. When you go from on Broad Street from Canal to Poydras, all the high seals, I put all those seals in. Stuff
Really?
like that. The Texaco building, I was gonna put that in there too. They put a big addition to the gym. I was always downtown, hanging on stages. I hung on a lot of stages. We all worked on stages when there used to be ropes before all the motors came out, with the cables. And a lot of outside work with double cables. But that didn't bother me. Height didn't bother me. It was just the wind would bother you because the lath, but even though it had holes in it, it would push it and it would cut you, see, Joe, which it, like a razor blade would move in your hand, you didn't want it to move. So. I often think about the time I was to run. I always ran when I was a young fellow. I had a metal lath that's 8 feet long, it's 27 inches wide, and there's 10 sheets up on it. And it was swinging back and forth. When guy by the name of John Machine, the contract I was working for, he grabbed his serious like a pan, tore the whole behind out of his pants, and he says to Eddie and Dunn, just Eddie, if Al wasn't running, I'd fire him. I didn't cut him, just caught the pants and tore the whole pants out. He always was serious. But it's, like I say, I never was a lazy person. This is very confusing to me sitting around now. See, never did that. Because I used to come in from work and paint one or two sides of my house and even after work, so it didn't bother me. It don't bother me to wax the floor. The only thing about it is a little harder to get up. I gotta make sure there's a damn chair close by to get back up.
Something like that too, yeah.
No, it's just, you know, you notice it, the foot gets further where you try to put a sock on it, you know, you never had that problem before, you know. It's just age all the time.
Well, I appreciate you so much,
Well,
sitting and talking with me.
It's been a busy life, believe me, it's been a busy life.
Yeah, tell them about the Superdome and the Hyatt, which is now Benson Towers. You worked on both of those,
Oh, yeah, I did those.
superintendent on those.
I was up in, the Superdome, when you go in the dome, we put sheetrock all around the top, that's 700 some odd feet from the ground. We had to put, it was walking on a rock, that's what they made the head, it's a tunnel around, that's how the air circulates. And that's, we put up there, just like a tunnel, so then we had all the return airs were pipe chases and stuff like that. Oh yeah, I did all that up there. And the other one that had I did a lot of fancy ceilings, floating ceilings, that the light troughs around just floating. That's what I specialized in. So it had the one at the mouth of the river, did that one, now that had a lot of fancy work on it. Think back right now, man, a lot of places I worked in the city and out here in Paris. But you want to be able to contractor got a job. But I did an awful lot of work on stages. I had a lot of fellas to be careful because some guys get scared, they cause more damage on the guy, gets frightened, so you don't want them, not because they cause somebody else to get hurt. So you had to make sure you have a good partner to go outside. Because stages will move with the wind, so you gotta make sure you have enough, don't have too big a space for you in the building.
So when you say stages, what do you mean?
What it is, that you got iron beams off the ceiling, they got cables down. And this is a big thing, like you got a ball around it, that's a stage. It's got a wooden platform on it, but one back is closed in on 3 sides, and the other side's open that you're gonna work on.
But it's high in the air?
But you're up in the air, you go outside the building, it's all up, if you go out of Lakeside, it's all a green building out there. I did that with a stage out there.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. No, you had a tie when it was closer because it would blow you away from the buildings. You always tied into it. Wasn't easy to try to get the material that's 8 feet long and 27 inches wide, trying to feed it behind your tie, and you say, but you do that, or somebody puts you in a bag and even. So, I got by no height, never really. I never was careless with it. I never bothered it. Only thing they worried me one time at the high-rise building, when they started putting the engines and the boiler rooms upstairs, and we had to crawl underneath that thing on a cable, and all that weight would be swinging across your head, and you're laying underneath there. You know, if that thing broke, all your beers are blah. So you put hands up, but no problem. But we only had one fellow on one job, we stepped through an elevator door.
Ooh.
He thought the cage was there, it wasn't now.
What did you think about that building that recently collapsed under construction?
That's bad construction. They changed over. That they show you walls dipping, seal is dipping. It means the metal is too light. On the spans are too great. So that's all. No building can peel off like that if it's tied in right. There's nowhere in the world. That wasn't done right. And someone's gonna swing for it just because you got somebody bodies there yet that a rat's eating them right now. You can't get to them. No. Oh no, I worked on many a high rise building. When I didn't work on hill, worked up in the Texas, I was on a high rise building outside. They have to work their head when I went up there. But height has never bothered me. I guess because of flying, it never bothered me.
Yeah, I'm sure that
But
helps.
you just gotta be careful. You just can't be careless when your body's way up in the air, you know.
That's right.
You can't go whoops, you know, it's all over. But no, that building should never come down if it was tied in right. But it peeled just like you peel a grape, and that wasn't tied in. Sad.
Uncle Bookie, where did you get your flight training? Where did you get your flight training? I didn't know you were a pilot.
But
Where did you get your flight training?
right where my daughter's living at, Belchase. That was the guy that was one of the nicest fellows, Jack Delaware. He was from a good family on St. Charles Avenue. And he was a teacher. But he was one of the gentlest fellow. He would still like a plane, he was too high. He would throw it around and you slide down sideways to bring it. Taught all the tricks of the trade. And some student just wiped him out. Shouldn't have been flying at all. He was scared he froze, you see. So. But he was a very gentle talker man. We drive over to Belchase and fly out. There was a mud strip one way, and then on a little plane when you go over a ditch, it would give you that air drop, you see. Yeah. Oh no, I enjoyed the flying. My daddy thought I was crazy. Oh, the thing my daddy thought, I've come back with the parachute. And he said, "What's that?" I said, "Well, it takes like I jump out the plane." He says to me, "How's the doors open?" I said, "They open out. Don't need the parachute. You can't shove the door open the wind," he says. He never set the plane. My dad never set the plane. He's like, "What the man? The battery on the side of the head." Yeah, I used to fly. I enjoyed the flying that I did. I really did. And I flew up there once with Danny but he was flying the light plane. But the plane, I was a big old red plane was flying, called a Porterfield. But the service changed all that. I was supposed to go do cross country, what you call a Waco, was a dual wing plane with open cockpits and all that. I didn't get to do that. So. But I didn't want to go back. It did appeal to me when I got back. So. It was a different life when you come back. You know? See, before I went in there, we used to go to all the fraternity and sorority dances. We used to go to a lot of dances. It's all they have, entertainment, you know. They get these dances, and you knew somebody went to dance. I don't think they had those anymore now. They had all these places. On Metro Road, we see what they had. There's clubs out there that dance, had the bands, they would dance. It was a lot of fun. Now they entertain now different foods, all that goofy dope stuff. We didn't have time for that. But time goes by, though. It waits for no man. All the trouble is right now, getting old is not bad. It's just it wouldn't be for the damn aches and pains. You wouldn't know you were old.
Yeah.
But the hardest thing in the world, is to get down to the floor, to get back up again. They gotta look for something to climb up on.
Well, that's
Yeah.
what this is for.
That's why I gotta look for stuff to climb up on. That's where that stick is at over there. That stick caused me more dirty looks from my oldest daughter. If I was a piece of ice, I'd have been melted, I tell you. Boy, I hate to tell them I fell that time, but when I told them now, oh, God. The left knee buckled and I hit the chair, I had a bust up my face.
Do you fall inside or
Oh, yeah,
outside?
right there, right behind where you sit.
Oh,
So when I reached